Good afternoon. This is Kingdom Kids, and today we're going to be talking about healthy hands, healthy kids. My name is Deacon Karen Childress, and I teach Sunday school,
I'm Samois Evans, and I teach as well.
and we also have some special guests. We have Javen, who will be going into the 5th grade, and we also have Kaya, who will be going into the 3rd grade. And so today we're going to be talking about a whole lot of things. And we're going to start out with what's going on now. Mr. Morris, what's going on now?
What's going on now? COVID-19, also known as
The coronavirus. And we want to know what our children are thinking, and we also want to make sure that they have the right information. So guess what I have? This is a globe. The globe is of the whole world. But we are in North America, and that's what we're going to focus on talking about today. We are in the middle of a pandemic, and we all know that it has made a lot of people sick, and unfortunately, some people have passed away. But this is not the first time we had a pandemic. We had a pandemic over 100 years ago, and it lasted for 2 years, and it took about 3 years for the country to get back to where it needed to be. So what we want to talk about right now is we want to talk about all the things that keep us healthy. Guess what I have?
this is the main thing that's different for us returning to Sunday school or returning to church or anywhere in the world right now. We have to wear our
Mask.
masks.
Can either one of you guys tell me why you think it's important for us to wear the mask?
Because if you sneeze or cough or if you talk to someone, there might be spit going everywhere. Or snot and mucus.
And that's kind of nasty, huh? Okay, so, some people think that it's not important to wear the mask. They was just like, oh, it's just foolishness. What do you guys think? Do y'all think it's really important to wear the mask?
I think it's very important to wear a mask because if you did, everybody would be sick and the hospitals would be filled with people, so it's important to wear the mask.
And another thing is, sometimes we're sick and we don't know we're sick. And we don't want to make anybody else sick. So you're right, it's very important to wear the mask. The second thing we're going to talk about is staying 6 feet apart. Does anybody know why that's important?
It's important because you don't want to get too close to anybody because they might be sick and they don't know it.
Very good. So that is, you already mentioned if someone sneezes or coughs. And one thing we do know that they've made us aware of is that this virus travels through the air. And so our masks are the shields that help those droplets not travel so far, not travel at all. Hopefully, we want the mask to help us to be safe. And that's one way that we can stay safe. And another way is the social distancing, because if you stay apart from one another, then the droplets don't have the opportunity to get close to you.
Who knows what this is? Hand sanitizer. Why is this important?
So you can make sure your hands are clean, like you don't have a sink or anything here. So let's say you went to the playground and you're getting back in the car and there's no bathroom here, so you have to bring a travel case of hand sanitizer to make your hands clean.
Very good.
Right.
Thank you for that.
And you know what? You guys are right on top of everything. We want to make sure that our homes stay nice and safe so we can stay healthy. So another thing that we can do is we have good old Lysol. Now, you know what? You guys seem pretty smart. Do you guys help mom and dad keep the house nice and clean? So one of the things we know is if you touch stuff all the time, you have to keep that stuff clean. And they call those high level areas, okay? So we want to make sure that we wash those down. So you can help mom and dad to wash those down. We have wipes that you can use to wipe things down, and we're talking about like handrails and kitchen counters and even your computers and your cell phones, because all of those things carry germs. And that's why it's so important that we not touching on everything. Another place we don't want to touch, we don't want to touch our face. You know why that's important? That's important because if you're touching your face and it gets in your mouth and stuff, then you're passing germs. Do you have anything that you want to ask us? Is it anything that you think I left out? So,
Do the masks help you to feel safe?
okay. What else are we going to talk about, Mr. Morris?
You know, I was thinking, do y'all want to go back to not having to wear masks? Kaya is shaking her head. She's nodding. She's like, yes.
I can barely breathe in this.
Right, because everywhere you go, you have to wear a mask, do this, then, but we can, I went to Corona, they were like, find the vaccine so everybody could be cured, so we could just go back to our normal lives, hang out with friends, close to each other, have cookouts, play, you can play football, all that stuff together.
Those are the things that you miss, it sounds like.
Yes, I miss my sports. Because I usually do cross country, track, and basketball, but now we can't because of the coronavirus.
Yep. It is a challenge. I heard you say it's hard to breathe, Kaya. That's another thing. That sounds like very important because all those things that Javen is talking about doing, you're going to need to be able to breathe just to move around, right? So it is kind of a challenge to even breathe. So this being the new normal, I don't know. That's a big question mark for me. You have any thoughts on that, Kaya?
My thoughts on that is when you breathe, you have to breathe or else you'll pass out.
Amen. Amen, honey.
And when I went to the mall, I'm like, oh, I can't breathe. I need to go outside. So I have to breathe. You have to be able to breathe.
Very true. So that, Javen gave us another topic. Did you hear him? He said, could they please find that vaccine so that we can get back to living?
This is what I know. I work in a hospital, and it takes a long time to find a vaccine because first you have to find the right ingredients or medicines, and then it has to be tested. It has to be tested so that we can make sure that it works and that it doesn't make people sick. But I know that they're working really, really hard for a vaccine, and they say that we could have one by the end of the year or the first of the year. So the vaccine is coming.
So when it comes, what is, Javen, you've already given us a list, so this is going to sound like a question like, I've already told you. However, what is the number one place that you are really, really hoping, that you are just anticipating opening? What's your place that you miss and that you are ready to go back? Do you have one that you're at the top of your list?
Kentucky Kingdom.
Kentucky Kingdom. Kentucky Kingdom. Okay, Javen?
Is hanging out with family members.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay.
I got one.
Yes, ma'am?
I am so ready to go to the beach.
That's a good one.
I miss
think
the beach.
Miss Karen, I think she took mine. Because I want to go swimming. That's the thing. So I just need a pool to be the safest pool before I get in there.
Pool by all to yourself.
Pretty much, right? Pretty much. So yeah, that's what I miss for sure.
So we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna talk about school.
Okay. Does that sound like something y'all
Are
want to
you
talk
are
about?
you guys excited about doing school from home, or are you ready to actually go back to the school building?
I'm ready to go back to the school because me personally, I love school because I enjoy learning and having fun and just like sometimes it might be a struggle for work and stuff, but it also helps because you know more about stuff and you can also have fun at the same time.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kaya?
I miss school. I miss going to the building, but I just really want to be safe. Have a healthy place to work. So I want to go back, but I want to be safe at home.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you another question. When you go back to school, What changes do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to be different when you go back to school?
I don't think we'll have a carpet where we can sit on and listen to our teacher read.
Okay.
And I think our desk would be 6 feet, at least over 6 feet apart. And we wouldn't have, let's say that we had a group A and a group B.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they came one day, and the group B came another day, and so on and so forth. And I think they would allow at least 10 people in that classroom, because we have pretty small classrooms. And we would have to go outside. We had to be really, really careful because we couldn't touch many things, couldn't touch people, couldn't play tag, and it would be really hard.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Javen?
I have to disagree with you, Kaya, because if you go in the classroom, but you still have to, like, how, if you go to lunch, how are you gonna, if you have to line up to go to lunch, you're gonna have to be in a 4 straight line, but you also have to be right there. So I want to go back into school though, but I want to stay at home because if you was in a forest line, it would be more easier for the coronavirus to come because you're right next to each other, less than 6 feet apart.
One thing that I heard because I have 5 grandchildren that I'll go to school, so I'm kind of concerned about that. And one thing that I heard that they might do is you won't come out of the classroom. You'll do everything in the classroom, and that includes lunch. How would you guys feel about staying in your classroom all day?
I would feel kind of bored, but usually sometimes our teacher last year, he would let us eat in classroom. We would watch movies and stuff, and that would be kind of cool because that means we would get to do it more often instead of like once a week or twice a week. We can do it more often, but it will also kind of be boring because you would have to stay in the classroom. You can't play, go outside. You just have to be, I gotta stay right here all day.
Kind of like work. That's kind of how I feel at work. Okay. Another question, Mr. Moore?
It sounds like that this coronavirus has really, really given us something to think about in the world. And you guys are really thinking it through. I really like the way that you have taken your experiences so far and just paid attention to the information out there that is presented to keep us safe, and not only yourself, but to teach you ways to keep others safe as well. With that, I know we're gonna just keep going over these things, but some of the things that we're used to doing, pretty much everything that we're used to doing is changing. So I want to talk to you about vacation. Have you all, because it's summertime, school is about to start, but summertime is normally when families take vacation. Have you all been on vacation?
Like, I love vacations and stuff, but we can't really go nowhere because coronavirus. But me and my mom, before the coronavirus and all this stuff happened, we would take like 5 or 6 trips once a year, and that would be fun because you can have new experiences and things. You can come back home to, hey, I did this, I went down a giant slide. And me and my mom, we went to Indiana. We went to Big Splash Water Park, and it was a hotel too. And you had a gaming room, kind of like Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow.
Then you went into that door, and we had water slides. But the water slides went through the building, then it went outside and came back in. And that was fun. At first I was scared. I was like, I don't want to go there. But then my mom told me, always admit something that's dangerous, if you do something that's dangerous. So I was like, let me give it a try. So, yeah, but now we can't go nowhere.
So those new experiences are extremely important to your learning. And if I recall, that was one of the things that you said about missing school was that you love to learn. And so, that's another thing that we're going to have to figure out for ourselves is how do we continue to learn during a pandemic? Kaya, what about vacation for you?
Well, my family was going to plan to go to Disney World in October, but it's not summer. But you're gonna go to Disney, and I've been to Disney World before. It's really, really fun. But my sister has never been because she wasn't alive yet. So we were gonna go. And I think they're gonna have this Halloween thing. I'm not so sure. But then when I heard about coronavirus, I'm like, oh, no, Disney World. So I'm like, no, Disney World.
That's the same way I felt when I had to cancel my trip to the beach. So, if you were going on vacation and we still having the coronavirus, what would you feel safe in? Would you feel safe in a car? Would you feel safe on a plane? Or would you not feel safe at all?
I would feel safe in the car because you wouldn't have many people. It would just be, say, you, your dad, and the kids. But in a plane, you have to be with you, your dad, and the kids, with all the people. But how you gonna listen to 6 people when the people are right in front of you? And you got people right there. It was less than 6 feet, probably like 3 feet.
I understand.
Well, guess what I heard? I heard that if you go on the plane, that some planes are doing social distancing. So you may sit here and then nobody else might not sit on the row with you, but I would still feel kind of creepy because there's no air. You're not, you know what I'm saying?
You can't roll down the windows on the plane.
You can't roll down the windows
Something about
and you just don't know if the plane's been cleaned. So I think I just have to stay at home. Even though I'm ready to go someplace, I think I just got to sit this one out.
Well, let's say I was going on vacation because I can't take it anymore. What would you suggest? What would you suggest I do? I like your suggestion about the car. What about my hotel?
In the hotel, I always say, because it would be just you, I'll be like, yes, it just be me in here. But you can, I would like that. You can drive in the car to your hotel.
Okay.
And then you won't have to be a lot of people because it's more than 6 feet. The rooms are more than 6 feet because you got to come in and look, and the hallway's right there, about 4 or 6 feet apart.
Okay.
So that would be good.
That sounds like it's doable. What if I want to go to Disney World, Kaya?
Well, I've heard that they're kind of open.
Okay.
So some parts are open, some parts aren't open.
Okay.
So like water parks and stuff. And if you want to go to Disney World, I recommend that you would drive. It would take a long time, but you would get there eventually.
Okay.
You have to load up on a lot of gas. So, if you didn't, then your car would probably break down.
We don't want that happening. So definitely take the essentials. That's what it sounds like. Do you suggest I take my own? Would I take these things with me, or do I just trust that it's going to be clean out there?
I will take that.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
If the water park was open, the coronavirus would be right there because you got water. People are already stepping in it and stuff. And you can't wear a mask because your mask will get wet. And so when you go in there, people with water and germs get into the water and it spreads to other people and they may get sick. You don't know. Never know.
Sounds like you just told me to stay away from the water.
Yes.
Got it.
Unless you out down to me too. So I think the most important thing is if you did go somewhere, when you go in the room, I don't think we can really trust that they may not have did a really good job in cleaning. So we should take our stuff and wipe everything down. And you got the elevators and stuff. So I guess along with your parents, you would just have to decide what you really want to do. So, Mr. Morris, do we have anything else that we wanted to talk about?
I think that was everything that we could think of that we wanted to share with you all. We miss you all, by the way, so I'm so glad that you were able to join us. We hope that there are other special guests that get to join us because this show is really designed for you all to do just what we did here today and share your thoughts about things going on in the world because it affects us all, the things that affects us all. And so you guys had some great ideas, so I would not leave you out of the conversation. I believe that you're an important part of the conversation. And with that being said, is there anything, because this show is not gonna be a one-time deal, we're going to do this again. So what do you feel? How do you feel about doing the show today? And are there any other topics that you are interested in us talking about when we have another show? And I'd like for both of you all to answer this question. Can Gaia go first, Javen, while you think about your answer? All right, thank you.
I would recommend doing this again.
Okay.
This was really fun. And you all did a very good job staying at least 6 feet apart.
Thank you.
And something else I would like to talk about is Black Lives Matter.
Amen.
Oh,
Amen. Thank you.
tell him, Mr. Morris.
Oh, we got to listen to Javen first, but
Okay.
we got it.
Me, because since it's Corona and stuff, it would be, I stay at home, but I also kind of learn too. So I play video games and stuff, but my mom makes sure that I still learn at the same time as I still have fun. But like Kaya said, Black Lives Matter, this is kind of like a crazy time of year that stuff is going on. You got the coronavirus, you got the pandemic of the Black Lives Matter. I think Black Lives Matter means how people stand up for other black people and black people to come together and be strong together.
Well, okay. Guess what, Miss Karen?
What?
That's what we're going to talk about on our next show. We're going to talk about Black Lives Matter. And we will probably have more guests. I'm not going to say we're going to have different guests altogether because you all did a very wonderful job, a wonderful
Very nice
job today.
job.
You did a very nice job today. And we would love to have you back again, especially talking about something serious like the Black Lives Matter movement. We only have a little time left, so we won't be able to get into it today, and I wouldn't rush through that. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. The way you just nailed it on the coronavirus information, which is really it's affecting the world, but so is Black Lives Matter.
We have a lot of things going on in the world today, and it's always good to share information because when you share information and you talk, that helps you to better understand things and to make good decisions. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad that we had a chance to talk about the coronavirus today, and I'm looking forward to talking about Black Lives Matter on our next show.
It sounds like a wrap.
It sounds like a wrap. So I want to thank Kaya and Javen for being our special guest today. You guys did a wonderful job.
Rocked it.
And I want to thank my co-teacher, Ms. Samoas. We've enjoyed doing the show today, and we look forward to being here on the next show.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
It was our pleasure. And that is the end of our show. We hope you'll join us next time here at Kingdom Kids. We look forward to seeing you. Goodbye.